Hi guys, and welcome to my first ever Plan With Me video. For the month of July I decided to go with an ocean theme. I love the sea, and since I live in a landlocked country, I thought I'd bring a piece of the sea into my bullet journal. Once the base is dry completely, I went back in with a darker shade of blue and added some short wavy lines to mimic the waves on the ocean. Then, with some white paint, I tried to add some sea foam to the waves I just created. After letting this dry as well, I went in with my Sakura Pigma brush pen in the size MB to add the word July to the painting. To finish the cover page, I then took yet again one of my Sakura Pigma brush pens, this time in the size FB, and added a little quote: "As endless as the ocean, as endless as the tides." Once I finished the lettering on the cover page, I took out my Caran journal, a Leuchtturm 1917, and started setting up my important dates section. The empty page on the left is where I later pasted the cover page, as you will see in the flip through at the end of this video. I added 3 boxes to the spread. One is for my monthly top 3, which I plan to add either during or at the end of the month. In the second box, I want to track the number of followers on my Instagram account at Steffi Journals, and the last box I added to keep track of my monthly goals. Then I proceeded to set up a playlist spread for the month. This is probably the spread which took me the longest to set up out of all the spreads I created in this video. I wanted to go for a beach kind of vibe here, with a phone laying on a beach towel onto which I added some tassels. After drawing all the outlines with a fine liner, I filled in the towel with some of my Tombow dual brush pens. You'll find the exact colors and other supplies I used in the description box below. The next spread I quickly set up was my brain dump page. I decided to keep it rather simple, so I just added some kind of drop shadow to part of the header, a swim ring right next to it, and some waves at the bottom of the page. This next spread didn't take too long to set up either. I just did some simple lettering for a header and then decorated the two corners, which are opposite of each other, with some abstract wave doodles. Next, I set up my habits, mood and expenses trackers. I've been using this layout for habit trackers for a couple of months now, and I've actually really been liking it. For my mood tracker, I went for some waves, which I divided into 31 sections, one for each day of the month. For the expense tracker, I started with drawing a lighthouse, which I also kinda used as a header for this page. I then just basically freehanded a table to keep track of when I spent how much money on what. I kept the steps tracker and my sleep block spread rather basic, so I decided to add some doodles to the page, along with some waves on the bottom of the page again. Lastly, I set out my spread for July 1st. Since my journal doesn't really hold up against the Ecoline brush pens, I just did the lettering onto a different piece of paper, cut it out and pasted it on top of some of the lines I drew. Anyways, here is the final flip through of my July setup in my bullet journal. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!